you mentioned journeys and you've gone on several, and I just want to say, like, just visually, just looking at you, I know it's not about body image or anything like that, but you look fantastic. Can you tell us about your health journey in the last several years?
Yes, thank you so much for the compliment. And I'm very grateful that I decided to say yes to myself, decided to say yes to my life, reframed my mindset, shift my perspective and stopped sabotaging myself. I have dealt with being overweight my whole life. And since I remember as a teenager, and I was always on a yo-yo like way of living. I would be more weight heavy and less heavy, and I would always find a way of sabotaging myself because I was eating to numb my feelings, my emotions, my fear, and I had to learn in these last 2 to 3 years how to reframe that and how to break these sabotaging patterns and behaviors. That's why mindset is so important. So when my husband died from colon cancer stage 4 in 2016, I had walked with him the journey of anticipatory grief and his own disease. So I gained like a lot of weight from 2013 until 2016, from his diagnosis to his death. And I was at my highest weight, which was 226 pounds. I do see now that the weight is so important because it's what's happening on the outside. And like you said, that's what people see, the body image. But I do see now that what's happening on the inside was way heavier, like the sadness, the loneliness, the lack of activity. I was very sedentary. I didn't like walking. I didn't like strength training, and the sleep was very disrupted because I was going through grief. I wouldn't drink water. Oh my God, I didn't even like water. I would drink Coke Zero. Coke Zero was my water. And again, I would not be mindful in eating. I would just eat whatever I would want. And the lack of energy, the lack of vitality, all the time feeling tired and foggy, brain fog, that I attributed to grief, but was also due to all the inflammation that I was having in my body. The cortisol from the stress, the cortisol from being overweight and having too much visceral fat, all the inflammation going on, right? The blood sugar high, pre-diabetes, and asthma, and rosacea, and eosinophilic esophagitis, and gastroesophageal reflux, and not sleeping, and oh, I don't want to walk because it hurts. Of course it hurts. Your muscles are becoming fatty, your bones are becoming frail. So you have to, I did have to focus on moving my mindset to a different point. And then in 2020, but then I started a keto diet, and I was able to go from 226 to 178. And I was following a lot of Dr. Eric Berg uh, knowledge. I even got a certification with him at that time because I wanted to learn so much. My brain, I have ADHD, and I got just recently got diagnosed. So my brain, when it finds something that it loves, just wants to learn more and more and more and more and more. So I did get the certification with him. And then in 2000, so again, in 2018, 19, I was 186. And then I went to the VA, and that's when I met Dr. Omara Shan, my friend, my mentor, my guide, and I work with him as well now. Uh, and he taught me about visceral fat, and he taught me about his strategies, and I started doing them. I failed because my mindset was not, again, connected to the strategies. I got better, but I failed, and I would fail and I would not come back, because failure for me is not when you get out of the track, is when you don't find yourself able to come back to the track. When you come back to the track, your fail, quote unquote, becomes a lesson. It's a failure in the system or in the process, not in myself. I just have to reevaluate where the problem happened and find a different way to make it work, right? easy, make it easy, make it fun, like Mel Robbins said, because I got some courses with her too. So now I'm using all the courses that I have done for myself to help others as well. But anyway, Sean, 2020, and then 2022, I moved here to another state, and we kind of lost connection. And he came to Nebraska to talk for a keto summit with Dr. James Seaman, which is now my gynecologist doctor, menopause doctor. And he invited me, come, I miss you, I want to see you, let's talk about everything. And and then I went, and it was really amazing because it was a gift from God. I'm very faithful because he brought me on track, and he added me to the Alpha group. Accountability, partnership, community, connection, it's really important, to keep yourself on track. People, like-minded people, right? Like-minded people. And then I started. So definitely I started in 2022, probably around September 2022. And slowly but surely now, I am way better. If you are going to look at the weight on the scale, I'm going to say that today in the morning I weighted 138 pounds. That's definitely not, and I was 186, 190 something, 200 something. So it is a victory, and I celebrate it because it's a way of releasing my own dopamine and my brain trusting me. However, more than the weight on the scale, I feel good. I feel alive. I feel connected with my heart, connected with my service, my purpose. I feel joy, I have energy. I crave going to my strength training. I don't do anything. It's really rare to see me doing something sitting down. When I am on my phone or a meeting, I'm always walking around my house, when the weather is bad. It's just like I became everything that I started doing and I kept repeating, and then it became who I am. Yeah, and I'm grateful because it's a completely different life. I don't have asthma anymore. I don't have rosacea anymore. I do not have reflux. I sleep better. I track my sleep with the Aura Ring, and I love it. Not making any propaganda of the Aura Ring. I just love it for myself because it definitely keeps me aware of my sleep. And it's so interesting because I am experimenting with my body, right? Everything that I'm talking, I'm walking, and I'm experimenting with my body. So the Aura Ring is like, I really didn't sleep well last night. Let's see what the Aura Ring is gonna say. And then, oh, I don't have much energy for this and that. Let's see what the Aura Ring is gonna say. And then I'm connecting the dots, which is like, I had a DEXA scan, I had a bioimpedance test. So I would say if you have a bioimpedance in your gym, and you are not able to pay for a DEXA scan, or is it hard, or it is harder for you, either both of them are so similar in results, it doesn't really matter, you know. And then I had my own MRI, and there is a difference because both of them, the bioimpedance and the DEXA, they give you numbers, and the MRI give you the visual, right? And it's really good when you have the MRI that you see not only improvement in the quantity, decreasing the fat, but you also see improvement in the quality of the fat. Like you are losing the epicardial adipose tissue, which is the first one you lose surrounding your heart because it's the heart attack cause, right? And then the body knows better and heals inside out. Then you lose the visceral fat, which is the inflammatory production all the time as well. And then you start losing your deep subcutaneous fat, and you keep your superficial subcutaneous fat as much as possible because it's the beneficial one. So when you have the MRI, you see all these changes, and it's so good because for me, as I am 54 and I am in menopause since 47, and because I removed my ovary surgically, and I'm taking hormone replacement therapy since then. For me, what is really amazing for an extremely workaholic and sedentary person is being able to see that I am building muscle, either in the DEXA or the bioimpedance. but also in the MRI, when I see that my muscles have less fat, that my bone density is better, that my bones are thicker in the MRI. So I would say get the strategies and work on your mindset and keep doing one step at a time with kindness to you, doing your best. You are going to have progress. It's not about perfection, it's progress, because if you get better, there will always be room for improvement. While we are alive, there is always room for improvement, right?